I'm sure there will be. I mean, I can't wait. We haven't talked about it quite yet because we're just kind of finishing up with the season. I'm sure in the next few months that discussion will come up. And, I can't wait for people. I mean, there was a lot of stuff. You only get an hour, to tell each story, which is actually not about 45 minutes in TV time. And, there's a lot of stuff we had to put on the editing floor that we wished we could put in but had to take out. So hopefully in the DVD set, maybe we could include some of that. And also, man, I just, the more people that have it in their hand, the more people that share it and learn the truth, the better.
And plus, this is groundbreaking. Hollywood, as Michael Braverman said on this show, is run by an old guard. They want to keep it in the left-right paradigm. Michael is really a smart guy. He understands all this. And this is groundbreaking. If this is successful, which it has been, it shifts the paradigm. And so many high-powered Hollywood people, they don't want to be liberals. They don't want to be conservatives. They want to get into reality and what's really happening. And so a lot of people are watching to see what happens with this show so they can start going public with their own projects. It's a revolution against the controlled paradigm going on in Hollywood right now. And you guys are, and of course me involved as well, are right in the middle of it. This is so wonderful that this has turned out this good, this professional, this true to the reality. And it's just such a good thing, Tyrel. We're going to come back, talk more about the show, your dad, and a lot more. Tyrel Ventura, filmmaker, researcher, son of Jesse Ventura, is the guy that woke his father up. We are excited to have him with us today, talking about the final episode of the first season of Conspiracy Theory with Jesse Ventura. The last show premieres tonight, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern on truTV. Getting more into tonight's episode, I mean, as much as you're allowed to tell the public, give people an idea of why they want to tune in tonight, Tyrel.
Tonight, because you're going to find out just how the government could prepare for potential disaster and leave you above ground. That's kind of where we went with this episode. It was fascinating to dig in and see that in every emergency situation, in all the government, in all their files and where they, in their the power structure, keeping the power structure in place takes priority to the citizenry. And it's very frightening to think about that. And that's what we get into this episode. And we also, uncover some massive underground facilities and other such places right underneath your nose. And it's a fun episode, watching Jesse go bunker busting.
And we'll leave it at that. Believe me, I think this is one of the strongest episodes. What episode really is your favorite?
Like I said, probably 9/11, and global warming was interesting too, because I'd never, I always assumed that the global warming was real. And like we say in the show, we're not debating the science of whether it's real or not. We just are debating the ideas that are being presented to help stop this problem. Are they really going to stop the problem, or are they just going to make the wealthy more wealthy and then make people rich?
Yeah, personally, my favorite episode is the global warming, because you just destroyed them. You have Ben Santer. Yeah. That made newspaper news that he admitted, the head of the UN program, that they took out 5 scientists who in the report said man is not causing global warming, and the UN knew that 10 years ago. On top of ClimateGate, that is as big as the emails.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, the timing of that episode and what was going on in the world at that moment it couldn't have been better. It was just one of those great moments in time where you're on top of a story as another facet of the story breaks. And I was very critical at first. It was like, global warming, come on, guys, really? And then, as the more research we did, the more I was convinced that, there's definitely something sneaky going on there. Hopefully the more people you get talking about these issues, the more we can try to change it. That's the whole point of doing shows like this, get you talking, get you aware of what's going on around you, not just being spoon-fed, everything you see on television.
And when you see those...
I also want to say, I didn't really open my dad's eyes up to the world of conspiracy theory. He definitely did that when he took me to see the movie JFK when I was a little kid. And I was like 10, 11 years old. And so he definitely opened it up to that. I was able to kind of open his eyes up to the 9/11 because, like all of us were kind of shocked and had our head in the sand to a certain degree after that had happened. And at first she was real hesitant to buy in, but then I just kept saying, just watch the loose change. Watch this. It raises enough questions that'll make you think about it. And then that kind of got him rolling on 9/11, and then opened up. Really that got him rolling into creating this show to a certain extent, because it kind of opened his mind up to other the other conspiracies out there beyond just JFK.
Well, sure, Tyrel, but, I mean, talking to your dad the last time he was down here in Austin with me for a few days, I mean, he said he knew about JFK, he knew about some of the things, but that you had brought him so many books and evidence and material, and then I'd given him material, and then all of that, that he went down to Mexico and spent months and months reading and watching and all and doing research, and then he really had this awakening, to a higher level of information. And then you guys had just gotten back from HARP in Alaska when I hooked up with you guys at the hotel there in L.A., and I was talking to your dad, and he said, Alex, my head's spinning. When I lay down at night, it's literally spinning and opening up, and that's the same process that all of us go through, even when we think we know what's going on, even when we think we're aware of the New World Order and the shadow government, it just gets more and more crazy, and this microcosm of the underground bases, how there's this giant archipelago of underground bases and continuity of government facilities that are even on record to exist. Imagine what we don't know exists, and the general public has no idea all this is going on beneath them.
I know, and they have no idea that most of their taxpayers is paying for all of it. Most of their tax money is paying for all of it. I mean, you want to know what you're buying and they're taking your money to do all this and to run these regimes and to do this. Not to mention, the selling of drugs, not to mention the CIA selling of drugs in the cities, on the inner city streets and all of that. I mean, they're totally abusing you. I mean, it's no different than when the, feudal lords were abusing the serfs, back in the, 1300s.
Stay there, Tyrel.